So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to be getting into our semifinals, the last match in the upper bracket before someone comes in from the lower bracket. It is going to be the El Clasico of the Philippine scene. It is EnDerr versus Nuks, number 1 versus number 2. We can honestly say Nuks is the one out for blood, out to really take that crown away from EnDerr. He was able to actually beat EnDerr in our previous quarantine tournament, number 3, and well, in the first iteration of them facing off against each other, it was quarantine number 2 where EnDerr won out against Nuks. So Nuks was our QT1 and QT3 champion, and in the meantime is our QT2 champion as he didn't participate in quarantine 1. But again, it is really going to be the test of the Zergs looking to face off another one into this one. All I gotta say though is between EnDerr and Nuks, this has to be one of the most familiar playstyles. This is going to be both of them knowing exactly what each other is going to be doing, and we are going to be getting into our map pool in just a bit. We're confirming real quick what our maps are going to be, and I believe we have gotten all of them up and running. It is going to be Evergreen though for our first map, and we are getting confirmation that Isenchrome is second, as well as it will be Dead Aura for last. It is the only map left in the pool. This will be showing you guys real quick that those visuals there. All I gotta say, those big shoutouts again to Mizzle for making this one happen in terms of the theme of the quarantine series. And I just basically said, okay, these are really good graphics. Time to use them everywhere. But here we go, guys. We are going to be getting into map number 1. Everdream LE will be first. Isenchrome second. Dead Aura on for third. Interesting enough, we are going to get the bans onto Eternal Empire, as well as Submarine, Pillars of Gold, as well as Golden Wall also going to be gone from this set. And of course, this tournament wouldn't be possible without our sponsors, ROG Internet Cafe, Block 101 Hobbies, and thank you to our community sponsors, Pouchin, EnDerr, Bayagster, Stale Cookie, and Raigeki. All I gotta say though, it is gonna be high time right now to get into the action, and this is gonna be the big one. Will EnDerr be the one to secure himself a slot in the grand finals, or will it be Nuks? Either way though, the odds are still for them to meet each other in the grand finals as per the history. But anything can happen here in the SCPH quarantine scene as we move on into the game. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we go! It is gonna be the classic one. You know those rivalries from every single sport. You can think about any kind of sport you have, those two teams that have always been on each other's throats. This is basically it. Here in the StarCraft PH scene, it is our ZVZ to remember. It is the biggest ZVZ one of them all. And it will be introducing first, on the bottom left, the star of the show, EnDerr. And his opponents, here on the top right, the defending champion, the challenger, the one who is looking to take that crown away and knock off a peg. It is going to be Nuks. And if there's anyone to really take after the throne of EnDerr, it has to be Nuks. He has gotten so much better all throughout the months during the quarantine, able to dedicate his time on his craft. And he's been winning tournaments here, not in the local scene, but also in the regional scene at the same time. So big kudos to Nuks in the meantime though. EnDerr of course participating in those bigger tourneys, and he has been very impressive, especially going for a good run there on the CANZ side, securing him I believe a slot within the next stage of the main event for DreamHack Summer 2020 qualifiers. DreamHack Summer 20 main event itself. In any case though, we'll be finding that one out very soon. I'm still trying to get intel on that tournament, and really is just gonna be of course very difficult for our region as it is shared with the Australian side. But hey, we are in the PH side right now. We are getting queens on the way, and all I gotta say is it is gonna be high time to finally get one of my favorite matchups into this one. In any case, Metabolic Boost is already set up here for EnDerr, as well as Nuks. They're both trying to research it as quick as can be in similar times. Queens are going to be there to allow that queen spread, to allow that defenses. And EnDerr gonna be scouting on the round. Now usually EnDerr versus Nuks games don't really go too long. They're very decisive. They're very potent against one another, and they'll know exactly how to play against each other's strengths and weaknesses. So for them, it really is just all about making sure that they can find the angle, that they can find all they need and more. In any case, it's still gonna be high time right now for Nuks to go for scouting. We'll be able to get that third base, and they're gonna be doing the same. We're already from the Zerglings. Nuks gonna be getting into the main base to get that insult and sees exactly what EnDerr is up to. Pretty much standard right now. Metabolic boost is still being upgraded. Similar times here for both sides. Nuks though, be able to fend a little bit of that Zergling action off, running around the Rosie. Eventually, this 1 HP Zergling should die very soon. And goodbye, Nuks really not wasting any time in a scenario like this. That's something also that these two players do so much. It really is them respecting each other's time, really expecting each other's know-how. They don't go for antics. When the game is over for them, they call it quits. Bailing Nest still gonna be into play. Evo Chamber gonna be there as well from Nuks. And this is usually where whoever gets the better mind game is able to get the advantage. But in a scenario like this, it is gonna be the mirror matchup instead. Bailing Nest as well as an Evo Chamber here for EnDerr. A little later on the Evo Chamber might allow Nuks to get an earlier upgrade for a little bit, but in a scenario like this, he's just making sure that he can get the wall a lot faster than his opponent. +1 right now onto the range, and you can really see he wants to go for roaches into the long run. On the other side though, what's the plan here for EnDerr? Will he still stay on Lingbane? Will he commit onto something else? He's trying to get this third base up and running already. It has been pops. It's taking the pop. There we go with the Baneling getting caught out in the open. So we are going to be having our standard fanfare so far, ladies and gents, and all you gotta say real quick is this is going to be a pretty amazing time as Nuks right now rotating on around into the middle of the map, making sure that everything is going to be fine and dandy there. In the meantime though, +1 already here for EnDerr. He's just trying to get that upgrade as quick as can be. Nuks though, doing the same thing as we've said, already got the lead there. Roach's Warren is going to be online here for EnDerr very soon, and Nuks going to be doing the same again. It really feels like for both sides, they are just looking at each other in a mirror state, and they are really respecting as well as really understanding what is to come, courtesy of the other side. There we go though with another extractor onto the low ground for EnDerr. In the meantime, Nuks already with 3 extractors up and running, so he should be able to get a few more Ravagers than his opponent in the long run. Here comes a little bit from EnDerr. Beautiful poke there from Nuks actually, catching out that one Baneling. And EnDerr just gonna be hanging on around, doesn't want to get pops there. Still using those Zerglings as sacrificial lambs, trying to get in position. Swarm right now on the Queen, has back on the way because these Banelings are very fast critters on creep. That's gonna be a good hit there. Beautiful stuff now from Nuks, takes the advantage. And they're losing a lot there, and wow, Nuks just showing how potent he can be with those Baneling bombs. So big kudos though to Nuks, able to defend that one really well, and now he is out for blood and looking for a little bit of revenge. He sees the Queen trying to get this round, but Roach gonna be into play here from EnDerr, and so far so good. The Roach though gonna get caught unaware. A little bit of bait and switch though. EnDerr is bringing in these Banelings. It's sneaky stuff right now in the middle of the map. It is gonna be these Roaches caught out in the open. The Zerglings are trying to get through the armor plating, and they're turning one of those Roaches into a Ravager to heal it up. Here goes more and more of these units. It really goes to show though for EnDerr, he's committing onto the army side rather than the worker count. Sure, Nuks only has a very small lead, but it really goes to show that for EnDerr, he kind of wants to play the aggressive right now already. 10 worker difference between Nuks and EnDerr going to be pushing on forward to try and get a good crippling blow. Will it be enough though? Seems like that is going to be the case. Third base getting hampered by those Zerglings in the long run. Goes over for the run on by onto the eastern side. Gets rid of 6. And now this is going to be high time for EnDerr to go for the push. Can he be very careful though? Nuks is trying to get the Baneling in position. Going to get the bust on down. The Banelings really smacking each other and saying, oof, I'm going to be the one who's going to be able to get the big one there. EnDerr right now though with the Zerglings out in front. Yet again, the Roach is trying to skitter on away. Nuks in the meantime might get caught unaware here. Ravager going to be in behind still trying to do all the damage it can. And it is going to be EnDerr right now caught in such a bad spot. Violet not gonna connect. Can EnDerr get on the way? Not gonna happen. Nuks with the advantage. And this should be a good push from our blue Zerg. Even though that's a solid run on by from EnDerr, now he is gonna be on the back foot, desperate to try and get his forces count back into action. He still has that worker lead, but for how long? Because it's high time right now for the Zerglings to come in. EnDerr though with already Roaches in position. Vinecrawler gonna get cancelled on out, and where are the Roaches of Nuks instead? Here they come, trying to go for Pincer, wants to go for the Queen as well as the Roaches again. Still for EnDerr, he's feeling very stable. Last that worker lead, getting a good egg cycle. That should be able to even up the odds for a little bit. So Nuks, even though that was a good defense there, it kind of forced EnDerr to overextend his reach. Still not enough to get that killing blow, and you really see where EnDerr really shines. Even in scenarios where it looks dire, he still survives. He's able to do all he can. A big kudos though for both sides, really bringing in the action. In any case though, Low ground right now here for EnDerr, trying to get into this hatchery down below. Nuks though in the meantime wants to go for the drop play, and he has that roaches inside this Overlord. In the meantime though, we'll see how this is all gonna be panning on out as well. We'll have EnDerr right now. They're trying to make sure that he has enough of these forces to really brawl and allow him to get this fort base up and running. Roach Warfare gonna be into play. EnDerr right now giving chase against Nuks. They will be meeting each other in pitch combat. In the middle of the map, Everdream LE having that natural choke points. We'll see who's gonna be able to get on through who. Bigger numbers though for EnDerr. He's pushing forward right now as he committed onto the worker count. While Nuks in the meantime trying to get back into the throne state. 82 army versus 72. Nuks looking to just climb on down yet again. Reconstitution though gonna be up online here for EnDerr as Nuks already has it. So all I gotta say there from EnDerr, very well played. He's using the natural rock choke point to allow him to actually stay in position to prevent Nuks from using his faster mobility off creep to basically get the swarm and surround on. Something to note though, it is gonna be Nuks already with the +2. EnDerr is really lagging behind on these upgrades because of the timings there from Nuks. But for Nuks, he's still unable to capitalize because of the sheer numbers that EnDerr has in the first place. In any case, economy should be tied up right here, right now. Fort base up and running for both sides on the most aggressive stance onto the Rich Vespine Geyser. But here comes a big engagement with the Roaches, really going to show that ZVZ can really turn into a long mirror matchup. So we got some drones going down. Good stuff there from Nuks so far, getting the catch in the first place. And in the meantime, turning those Roaches into Ravagers. All I gotta say real quick is, for EnDerr, he just needs to have a little bit more to allow him to just get a bigger cascade than his opponent. Supply block right now, EnDerr is very close to getting the 200 mark. Nuks is also close to it at the same time. 121 to 114, big armies coming our way. This has to be a big clash already, as the Ravagers right now really trying to get rid of these Overlords as much as possible. It's scouting information from the flotation devices, really being as bothersome as possible. Here comes trouble though. EnDerr right now trying to really push into that fort base. And on the other side, it is gonna be Nuks looking for a little bit of that patrol to make sure he's not gonna get hit by the bow whatsoever. Beautiful surround though onto that third, and this is gonna be high time for Nuks to really push on forward. Drones are just getting caught out in the open, and it is gonna be time for EnDerr to march into the forefront, but he's gonna get caught out of position. He has lost a lot of Roaches there at the initial fight, and this is Nuks right now with a big advantage with the Bear Concave. He has a good focus fire right now in the middle of everything, and Nuks is holding the high ground, holding the line. EnDerr caught with his army out of position and his pants down. And Nuks right now is cleaning up house. Can EnDerr still defend? He is down on the worker count. He's losing the army here. Nuks in the meantime though still losing out, actually out of nowhere, as EnDerr gets reinforcements arriving into the scene. So for Nuks, he just had such a good position there onto the high ground. But as soon as EnDerr got everything back, it felt like the DPS kept going in favor of EnDerr in the end. Still though, a really good hit there from Nuks. These Roach Ravager wars can really go very interesting, and all I gotta say now is for Nuks, he does want to go for a little bit more of that punish because he already caught EnDerr before. He's trying to do the same thing again. 3 bases versus 4 bases. You can see who has the advantage here. EnDerr though in a desperate last stand, trying to use that positioning, trying to use that rock as much as possible. In the meantime, here comes Nuks right now on the northeast side. There we go with the extractor popping out for the Rich Vespine Geyser. But does it actually help EnDerr in the long run? It feels like he might want to get a few more Ravagers to allow those battles to connect. But behind all of this, Nuks is just looking to really amass a fortune and amass a big army and go for reinforcement cycle very soon. In this case though, I like how Nuks is breaking these rocks down. He knows that EnDerr will be looking to use that natural choke and looking to use his own creep thread to his advantage. In the meantime now, Ravagers is tossing that pile, goodbye to the Overlord yet again. This is gonna end up to anticipate, but Nuks is just getting the concave yet again. Still though, EnDerr in a better spot, got those initial hits, extra DPS, allowing him to get the damage done. Here we go though with a good backstab onto the Ravager. And Nuks again, piling on the pressure. This fourth base here just getting neutered so much as the third base is trying to be rebuilt. Nuks right now onto the high ground yet again. This is what we were talking about. This is where Nuks was able to get the advantage earlier on. And then they're going to be walking into this one. Can Nuks survive? That's going to be the real question. Who will actually take the win here? Ravagers right now with the ball into the middle. Gets a few hits onto the Roaches. And it's going to be acid strewn on both sides. Both of them, I believe, are on +2/+2. But Nuks has that +1. Will it be enough of a difference maker? EnDerr, though, again with the reinforcement cycle coming from the south side. And our red Zerg survives to live to fight another day. And they're able to hold the line. It really goes to show if you are able to even deal with your opponent from the high ground, it is just still gonna be a difference maker. EnDerr surviving it again. Wouldn't be surprised if he was one of the only Zergs that can really do that in the first place. This is gonna be the drone right now turning into the hatchery. Bal right now connecting yet again. What is the upgrade tab though? They are still stuck with these roaches and these ravagers. And it seems like for Nuks, he wants to go for the drop, the harassment against his main base. So two-prong attack here from Nuks. Ventral Sacks with those roaches allowing a little bit of that drop action. In the meantime, EnDerr on the other side will be brawling against Nuks again. Keeping an eye out onto the frontal engagement as here we go right now. Where is the Overlord? It puts those roaches on the eastern corner of this main base. Was spotted out by EnDerr though. But 2 versus 4, you can really see who's the advantage here. EnDerr right now gonna be losing out on that defensive force, but in the meantime, here comes Nuks gonna be pushing on forward again to that lower base. Baldo to display that push, and on the other side, it's gonna be free shots here and now. Roaches though brought along. Can Nuks take the advantage here? It is gonna be high time for EnDerr though to go for the engagement instead. Goes for the Baals right now, catching out the Ravager. It seems like even for EnDerr, he's losing out on those drones, but he's very, very happy to play the aggressor no matter what. What a proactive play there from EnDerr. He got in the way of Nuks' transition to make sure that it wasn't gonna be in a spot where he could be in trouble. But on the other side, Nuks right now still keeping things up. Army count is even. Worker count is pretty even as well, with Nuks with a slight advantage. But Southside right now for Nuks. Will we get a new expansion? Yes, we do. 5th base up and running here for our Blue Zerg in just a bit, as EnDerr is still hanging back, looking to make sure he can defend this one. In the middle of the map though, we go again with the engagement. Roaches, Ravagers trying to toss each other all the way in the air. It's like a pizza that you can't remember because it will melt you down. Baldo unfortunately hitting his own units. And it's gonna be EnDerr and Nuks again, still going for as much spray and pray as possible. EnDerr though trying to go for concave on the south side. Here comes Nuks looking to get the surround on, and EnDerr cannot afford to lose his army already. He is trying to survive. He's trying to go for natural choke. He's backing on out with many of these Ravagers. And that is going to be 4 drones going down at the same time. Run on by here from Roaches on the east side. Some really good harassment from both EnDerr and Nuks. But you can see for EnDerr, he's just making sure those Ravagers stay alive because that is the bread and butter of his units. If those do die, it is going to be game, set, and match for this first map. So the fight is not over. There is action on every front. And I like how Nuks has decided to take the advantage and get that Spire on. Now, what can EnDerr do if these mutants are into play? It's going to be such a good complementary unit in terms of adding that DPS that cannot get mitigated whatsoever. EnDerr does have a lot of Ravagers, so he might be able to get some good hits with the Bile. But besides that, he really needs to just rely on his ability to get those skill shots on. So here comes the Mutas. Some free DPS against this ground-based composition. The Ravagers are going to be the target. EnDerr knows this is a one-way trip for his units. There is no way he can actually back on off because of these bats into the airspaces. And EnDerr is just marching forward as much as possible. Going to the fight right here, right now, onto the 4th base from Nuks. EnDerr, though, losing on that. Extra DPS there from Nuks. Bile right now connecting. And this is going to be looking really dire here for our Red Zerg. Can Nuks hold as the hatchery has gone down? He is going for the push. He is going for the killing blow. And with the Venus up on top, EnDerr knows that this is going to be a last hurrah from him. Will this be Nuks taking our first victory? It seems like this might be the case. EnDerr has already broken the back. He's going for more roaches right now. But GG is called and Nuks will take our first map. So there you go, guys. Nuks for the first victory, and well played to Nuks. Just getting the Mutas out of nowhere, taking advantage of the time given to him. And we are now going to be moving on into our next map, which will be Ice and Chrome. But all I gotta say, Roach warfare between these two great players, always a sight to behold. There you go, guys. Nuks with that victory. Ice and Chrome gonna be next on the list, and we are going to be waiting on to see who's gonna be winning that one. Now it's EnDerr though, down by 1. Just really well played there by Nuks, taking advantage of the lack of anti-air. Neither side coming in from the Roaches and Ravagers, and EnDerr just a little too caught up in his ways. Wasn't expecting Nuks to actually bring out the Mutas. Wasn't able to get the Hydras in time. And since his Ravagers were already caught by the bats in the begin with, he just wanted to see if he could actually get the push on in the first place. But in the end, it is now going to be high time to get into the match. It is going to be Ice and Chrome. A lot of macro potential here. Different directions, different bases. Going to be a frigid wasteland for these Zergs. And all I gotta say about, well, that previous game really was Nuks showing he just has a little bit more on the insult game right now in this specific matchup. Still though, and there might be fatigue. He's coming in from a previous tournament, but no excuses in all honesty. Nuks has looking to be his kryptonite in the local scene, as we are now getting into game number 2. Nuks with a 1-0 advantage, and they're looking to survive in the upper bracket still. We'll be moving on now to game number 2. So here we go yet again, ladies and gentlemen. It is high time right here, right now, to get back into the action, and high time to get back into the quarantine tournament. Introducing first, on the bottom left, it is gonna be our man down, but still looking to prove, EnDerr. And his opponents, here on the top right instead, a map up, the defending champion, Nuks. Roaches and Ravagers. All I gotta say about that is, well, they're very effective at literally getting in each other's skin. They are just so effective at getting in the way every single time. Just absolute kudos right there. From the side, from the side of Nuks, winning that one out. In any case, drones right now being transitioned. Nuks with a big flock here. What's gonna be the plan coming into this one? EnDerr in the meantime, what's gonna be happening? It's pretty interesting. So Nuks is gonna be bringing all the drones. Oh my god, it's an all-in. It's time for the all-in. Drones and Zerglings went for the pool first to get the rush on. He's leaving 3 to get a little bit of income to allow him to get more reinforcements. But the real question is, has EnDerr spotted this one out? Seems like it's not the case. Good transition here from Nuks rather so far. It barely misses. The Overlord could have spotted that one out. Nuks is taking the path on the left-hand side. And since EnDerr is going for that hatchery first, this is going to be a little too imposing to say the least. Now, can Nuks actually penetrate through the main base without getting spotted? Yes, he does. These Zerglings and these drones are moving on forward already. Spine crawlers are in position. There we go with the spawning pool. And EnDerr right now gets spot things over. This might be the beginning of the end of EnDerr's run in the upper bracket. That's gonna be the real question here, if Nuks can actually capitalize on things out. EnDerr is making sure these drones are surviving, are hiding in the middle line, just dancing along. Here we go though with the surround, and Nuks wants to finish this one already. He has had enough of that long ZBZ game. It is gonna be involved though between the drones as well as the Lynx. Nuks are backing on off, but these spine crawlers are almost done. What a buy time here from Nuks, and this is gonna be these tentacles looking to get the push. He saw EnDerr a while ago cheese at Artanis PH. This time he is giving his opponent a taste of his own medicine, and with the spines in position, this is something you can only do in a ZVZ by this point. EnDerr though going to natural. Nuks in the meantime bringing the spine crawler down, but something not though. Nuks does have too many units, and the spine crawler is looking to get a little bit of the root action. Surround though might be into play. Good positioning though from Nuks onto the high ground. This is gonna be some heavy losses right here, right now for EnDerr. He has to play this perfectly. He wants to survive. Nuks though still sticking onto the east side. Here we go with more and more of these Zerglings, and these drones are really trying to do all they can. Queen gonna be coming from the south side as well. Eventually, Spine Crawler should be going down, but I believe that was a transfusion at the last moment. That was so close. I'm not too sure though. But if EnDerr will still get the kill, but the cost of 17 drones, and GG well played. Nuks will get the victory. Nuks moves on to the grand finals. No time to breathe, no time to stop. EnDerr will be falling to face off against the winner, I believe, of Vayagstar and Phoenix, and that is Vayagstar. So we are gonna get the same old top 3 yet again. But Nuks right now is gonna be happy about that victory, able to cheese out against EnDerr, and it will look a little dicey as EnDerr had that natural set on up. But if ever that Queen got the transfusion, or if that Spinecrawler just had enough HP to begin with, it really just goes to show there that for Nuks, he was just able to catch out EnDerr unaware. Really well played there from Nuks, winning that one out 2-0. He's been waiting for quite a while, and it seems like that aura is not gonna get needed. Nuks with a 2-0 victory. He is our first finalist in the SCPH Quarantine Tournament number 4 Masters Plus bracket. And we will be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Stick tuned, stick around. We'll be getting into our lower bracket finals in just a bit.